drive into the right-hand part.
Hello and welcome to Muscat for the final event of the 2019 GC32 Racing Tour, the GC32 Oman Cup. The event was jointly organised by Oman Sail and the host venue partners EFG Private Banking, Oman Air, as well as fragrance brands Umuage and the Sultanate of Oman Ministry of Tourism.
It's great having the final of the GC32 series here in Al Mouj in Muscat. It's a very, very fitting place to have it. Al Mouj was one of our first commercial partner. It's a wonderful development of restaurants, shops and apartments and buildings, and there's world-class sailing conditions literally on the doorstep. It's an important part of the Ministry of Tourism strategy, having sports and adventure tourism, and especially having this circuit because it's well publicised on the TV, on social media, so it's great publicity for the country. It's no coincidence that we've got world-class sailing conditions with a hotel on the doorstep and a fantastic marina. All of this was designed it's lifestyle living. So there's a big community of 5,000 people who live here now, and they wanted to have people who are interested in sports, cafe culture, and so this event sort of brings the whole place alive. It's a multicultural society here in Al Mouj. There's people from all walks of life here, and sport and recreation is absolutely at the heart of living here in the Al Mouj complex. Our team are really looking forward to this last event. As you know, it's a fight at the top with Alinghi. So hopefully we've got a bit of home water advantage, and we look forward to a spectacular week.
The Oman Cup was the fifth and final event of the 2019 GC32 Racing Tour, and it would decide this year's overall podium places. With so many teams close on the leaderboard, there was the potential for some crucial match races amongst the fleet. The 5th and 6th place teams, Argo and Black Star Sailing Team, were within 3 points of each other, whilst just 4 points separated Eric Maris's Zulu and the Austrian double tornado Olympic medalists Roman Hagara and Hans-Peter Steinacker on board Red Bull Sailing Team, who were in 3rd place. It was all set to be an epic conclusion to the season.
I'm from Oman Air, and I think we'd quite like to beat Alinghi.
Team Argo would like to beat Team Zulu, especially El Fouche.
Zulu would be good, considering that's another owner-driver. So yeah, it'd be good to be in front of those guys.
Yeah, we beat everyone. So, but at least now Oman Air is the first boat, and then Alinghi is the next one.
We don't want to finish at last. Let's beat everybody if it's possible.
Alinghi, because they are the best at the moment.
Adam Noprio, for sure. We're gonna beat him. Easy. Adam.
If the Red Bull team wins, I will shave my beard.
But unquestionably, the big fight was for top spot between the local heroes Oman Air and Ernesto Bertorelli's world champions Alinghi. After 73 races across 4 events in 3 countries, the 2019 GC32 Racing Tour's finale couldn't have been closer. The 2 teams were tied on points, so it's going to be a winner-takes-all end-of-season showdown. Technically, the Swiss team were ahead on the leaderboard, having won September's event in Riva del Garda. Even there, the 2 teams finished tied, with Alinghi taking top honours, having won the final race.
It's beautiful here in Oman. We're really excited to be in our home port. So far in the training and the practice day today, we've had a great breeze and some really fun races out there. And we expect it's going to be a very tight, tough week. You know, Lingi, no easy beat team. They've been together 4 years, same crew, training hard, and they're very focused and determined. So we've got to go out there, match them on their determination and their focus, and make sure we sail well, have fun, and get the result we're here for. We sailing our home port, you know, we'd really like to win, but you know, it's another regatta. We go out there and we sail our best, and at the end of the day, the best man will win. And if we're sailing our best, there's not much we can do about it. There's a fantastic amount of support here in Oman. The club is right behind us, supporting us, and all the locals come down to watch our racing and to see the boats. So it's really good to know that they are actually following the racing and they know it's happening, and they're actually interested in the sport.
Final event here in Oman. It's really good to be back here. It's great. We are tight on point with Oman Air, so it's going to be a really tricky event for both of the team. The race conditions are really nice here. It's really tricky race course because there is the wind shift a little bit. There is a difference of pressure, and the game is really open. So you need to be pushing all the race, and you can be far at the back and come back at the last minute. So you need to be really patient and focus on your race course and minimize the mistake. It will really depend on the situation. If we have a position that we can block them, or if they can block us, it's going to happen. It's going to be really different on the condition and the position on the start line or on the race course. But for sure, you're going to see Oman and us pretty much close together for the whole weekend. And I think it's going to be who sail the best to win the event and the season. I don't think they have any advantage to sail here, but maybe they got a disadvantage as the whole country is watching for them, and we're just here to take over them for the leaderboard.
For Oman Air and the Omani sailors and shore crew, there was extra incentive to win the GC32 Oman Cup in front of their friends, family and supporters.
First of all, so happy to race here in home water. We're so proud in front of the families and brothers and all the friends here, and hope to win this event and the series. Secondly, Oman Sail is well organized by the government and by all the supporters here. The staff work in Oman Sail, which is pushing a lot to increase and level of the youth of Omani sailor around the world. So we are jumping up a lot. We're doing massive things by Oman Sail. So Oman Sail, I think, a right project for kind of sport as a Omanization sport for the sailing.
But also for every other sailor that takes part in the GC32 Racing Tour, travelling and enjoying the spectacular venues is part of the unique GC32 Racing Tour experience.
Definitely you have to adapt a bit. The last event was on Lake Garda, which was flat water, strong winds, and now we have here light winds, very hot conditions, so it's a different setup, different skills, and you need to adapt a little bit. It's also, if you have some more breeze, it's going to be wavy, so it's a little bit different to sail the boat and set up the boat. The strategy of a race is always the same. It doesn't matter where you go and where you end up. It's about a good start, and then you have to use the shifts and the wind and also the speed of the boat, and then you can perform. But it's not very different from like if you sail in the Mediterranean or if you sail here in Oman.
Always have to adapt yourself on the condition. Oman is the first time that we get big swell, you know, in the season. So you have to find the way to go fast in the wave, which is tricky with the foils. And it's completely different if you're on a flat water spot. So every venue is different, and every venue needs to some adaptation time to be able to be performant.
In all other senses, travelling from venue to venue is a relatively simple process for the teams. Let's find out more about the logistics of the GC32 Racing Tour. What makes this fleet so easy to travel with, how the boats pack down into a container. This process allows the tour to travel around the globe to take in the very best venues for these flying catamarans.
When you look at them, you think they're pretty complicated, but they're truly quite simple, and it's very easy. Only a day and a half to break them apart and put them back in. And in time, we've done it also in less than a few hours to get it in and packed away. And then the build is usually a day and a half to 2 days. It's in general quite simple to do, and doesn't take much, and it all just packs in right into the box and makes travel quite easy. It's our aquatic F1, so to say. You know, I think a little ferry comes along and picks them up, puts them on a truck, and then generally they go on a ship and they go from one country to the other, and then it arrives here. Generally it's quite simple, it's organized with the class, and it's quite easy.
The package of the GC32 in terms of technical stuff is pretty good. Everything is going into a 40-foot container. 2 hulls, the beams and the mast, dividing in 2 parts, the sails, the foils. So it's only one 40-foot container, and then it takes like, if you have the full crew, it takes 1 day to mount the boat. If you have only the short team, it takes 1.5 days. The longest part is the net, the trampoline, the tie on, but assembling the boat is pretty fast and easy.
Guys, wave it, like.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Oh, thank you. Amazing.
Let's get back to the racing action at the 2019 GC32 Oman Cup. With a light forecast, the opening day of the GC32 Oman Cup looked like it might be marginal. However, in the end, 4 out of the 5 scheduled races were completed on the waters just north of the Al Mouj Marina. The winds were challenging at times and inconsistent. Similarly were the team's performances, with exception for one crew. Alinghi, who had spent many hours training and competing in the fickle winds on Lake Geneva, showed their class. The Swiss team made an emphatic start by winning 3 out of the 4 races to lead by 6 points at the end of the opening day.
First tricky day for the opening day, and we sailed really well. Good position, right side of the course, and we had some luck with the wind, so we could extend our lead. It was quite close a few times on the downwind, especially because you come to the lighter wind before the guys are from behind. But we keep it calm and just wait that the wind came back, and we had a sunny day today. We couldn't wish for better.
The undisputed winner on day 2 in Muscat was Zulu, who won 2 races and finished second in the other 3. It was impressively consistent given the sea state and gusty conditions. The results propelled Zulu up to second on the GC32 Oman Cup leaderboard and just a point behind the leaders, Alinghi.
It was pretty tricky condition between jib only upwind or the code 0 upwind. It was a tough choice to make. The team managed to do the right choice on the performance side, and then Thomas, tactician, made really great calls on the tactics. We had a big discussion last night about how we can improve the speed from yesterday. So we found a few key to be able to stay with the front guys as Oman or Alinghi. And he played well today for us.
The GC32 Racing Tour gives a unique experience to local and international guests who can be part of the racing at every event. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience that they'll always treasure.
My name is Marwa. I am in the girls team, so I sail on Diam 24. So today I have a chance to go on GC32. Really, I like this boat because it's really fast and they fly. So it's different between this boat and Diam, so I like to sail in this boat.
So for me, out on the Oman Air today, it was something that I'd been looking forward to for months, and I have to say it totally blew me away. The sensation was unlike anything I've ever experienced sailing before, actually. People have told me it was a bit like flying, and it kind of is, but I would say flying where you are standing on the wing of the plane, performing acrobatics. I mean, there was so much movement out there. It was a real ride, and you could see how much effort the guys were putting in. There was a lot of motion behind me. I was just a passenger. But when the wind starts whistling through that rig, water pouring over the bows, and you just get a sense of speed like nothing else. And as the boat rises out on her foils, there really is just a moment of perfect calm and peace, and then suddenly there's a wave coming over or there's a wind shift, and suddenly everybody's retrimming the foils, trimming the sails, and it all starts again. It's a real blast.
Back out on the racecourse. If day 1 belonged to Alinghi and day 2 to Zulu, then day 3 belonged to Oman Air. The local team managed to win 3 out of the 5 races to stand in 3rd place overall and within reach of their championship rivals Alinghi. Meanwhile, Zulu, with Eric Maris back on the helm, sailed consistently to stay 2nd heading into the final day of racing. There was plenty of drama on the 4th and final day of the GC32 Oman Cup as the wind and waves picked up. Oman Air pushed hard from the start. However, the GC32 World Champions Alinghi proved themselves once again to be the most consistent team on the tour and put in an almost flawless performance. Scoring 2 bullets and a 2nd place, the team not only won the GC32 Oman Cup, but they also took the 2019 GC32 Racing Tour with 3 wins from 5 events this year. Ernesto Bertarelli's Swiss team add the 2019 GC32 Racing Tour title to the GC32 World Championship title that they won earlier this season.
We just won the last event of the year here in Oman. It was perfect for our team to win this last event, and that put us on to win the season as well, and with the World Championship that we won in Lagos. So it was a perfect year for Alinghi, and really want to thank the whole team, Mr. Bertarelli that led us the boat, and also the other competitor, because they fight really hard to push us back, but that's how everything works. When someone is pushing you, you just rise the game, and really want to thank everyone, all the other team this year.
Owner-driver Eric Maris and his team Zulu finished 2nd in Muscat, his first podium finish of the season, and the great result saw Maris win the Owner-Driver's Trophy for the 2019 GC32 Racing Tour.
We finished second on this event, which we're very proud of. That was one of our objectives for the year, to finish in the middle of the pro teams. You know, there's 3 of them, so being second, we managed to be 2 of them, so we're quite proud.
Coming into the 2019 GC32 Racing Tour's final event, Alinghi were tied on points with the Adam Noprio-skippered Oman Air. This made for a simple battle. Whichever team won would claim the overall 2019 GC32 Racing Tour. So with the win, Alinghi took top spot and Oman Air had to settle for second.
The last event of the season's just done, the Oman Cup. We're pleased to be able to get second in the season. We've had a good battle with Alinghi all year, and coming into this final event, we had a good battle for Alinghi, but they just outdid us, outshone us on the day, and really showed us and the fleet how good they are at sailing these GC32s. It was my first season sailing with Oman Air, and it was a great season. We had a lot of highs. We started off with winning the first regatta, a bit of a low at the Worlds, but then we as a team managed to bounce back, win Palma, and really push Alinghi and the other teams, and we're just missing out in Garda on the first place spot, and then just not having enough here. So we sailed well as a team. We're happy with the result. We know exactly where we've got to improve, and we feel if we can do that next year, we'll come back very strong.
Finishing third at the GC32 Oman Cup, secured Austrians Roman Agara and Hans-Peter Steinacker's Red Bull sailing team the final spot in the season's podium.
We had some problems in the breezy days here with the waves. Did not so good approaches to the leeward gates in most of the racing, and yeah, that cost you a lot of places. I mean, it's coming down to boat handling, and in the end we were struggling a little bit with the wavy conditions. It was a lot better in the flat water on Lake Garda, and the change to here in waves was a bit tricky for us.
So let's have a look at the overall results of the 2019 GC32 Racing Tour. So that's it from Muscat and the GC32 Oman Cup. It was certainly a welcome addition to the tour and a great way to end the 2019 season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next year for more high-octane foiling action on the 2020 GC32 Racing Tour.
The GC32 Racing Tour 2019 comes to an end. We had 5 events. We started out in Sardinia, Italy, went to Portugal, Palma de Mallorca in Spain, back to Italy on Lake Garda, and now we completed our journey here in Muscat, Oman for the last event. And we had 4 very exciting days of racing, and now the tour is over and we're looking back at the wonderful season 2019.